Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and today we have your two wonderful hosts, the lovely King 24 and the
Only
subpar
boss
only boss.
22.
No, not the subpar, the
But
underscore.
I'm the only one. I'm the only boss. How can I be subpar?
Yeah, all right, you're right.
Yeah.
I can't disagree with that logic. Now we got our special guest, the amazing Mug Maniac here. So that's what I'm
You
calling
guys,
him.
you guys ever drink mug?
Yeah, I've drank
Absolutely,
mugs
yeah.
sometimes. I'm kind of like that.
What
I,
time? What time I went to a gas station, went to 7-Eleven, purchased mug. It's nice.
it is honestly
I
pretty good. Besides A&W root beer as well.
want to introduce our topic for today, Chris.
Yeah, our topic for today is school. So be in the lookout for that. Let's start off by saying Mug Maniac. Why don't you go ahead and tell a story that you said you're excited to tell?
Well, this story sort of just pulls at the back of my mind. I remember it. I go to sleep, sometimes think about it,
Yeah, you
unironically.
go to sleep. You think about me. Go on.
Yes, and I wake up with my underwear just completely soaked.
That is
But
natural.
no,
That
this
is a
is this
natural
is
thing.
Yes,
yeah,
of
that happens a
course.
lot. But unrelated to that, one time I was in kindergarten, right? And the
And
playground
you
we
had a
had
wet
was
dream.
no.
About me, yeah.
I already said that, man. But so at the elementary school I went to, before I transferred to a different one, we had a playground, right? And
Yes.
You ever play?
we
That's
couldn't
that's
go
the
use
perfect
the
place.
bathroom if it was during recess. I don't remember. No, yeah, this was definitely kindergarten when this happened. Kindergarten or first grade.
I
Uh,
don't. I don't remember. Proceeds to go into great detail.
well, I don't remember what grade it was, but I remember I went outside onto the playground one day, right, during recess.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
Yes.
I'm into it.
As one
I really,
does.
really, seriously had to shed.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, couldn't go inside. So,
But what do you mean
right,
you couldn't go inside? If you asked your teacher, would they just say no?
Yeah,
yeah,
you couldn't go to the
ironically.
bathroom during recess, is what he said.
That. y- Why? What?
I don't know.
They don't trust you.
Probably because they have to keep watch on the kids. They don't trust you to be alone.
You're like blowing smoke in their faces and shit. They really don't want to deal with it.
Well,
Well,
our playground had a couple of had a few large tires.
I guess they
They
didn't
were
even keep
set up
watch on you anyways, huh?
and they were set up vertically. So I was just messing around. I found one of the tires. It smelled sort of funny and rubbery.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
I remember that distinctly, and I remember like the sound of the gravel even. But I went into the cave of a tire comparatively to my like little kindergartner body.
Dude,
how are you?
what?
How'd you go in there without being scared? Last time
No.
I looked at one of those, there was
No.
like spiders and
Dude, where's this
all sorts of
story
things.
going? I thought you would just shit in the fucking cave, not sit in it.
No, what happened was I went into this little tire, dropped my pants, and
Oh
shat
god. Oh my
inside of
god.
the tire.
Okay, did you
And
get
then,
caught
not by a teacher,
by a student?
my former best friend,
Former
Jack.
is a wonderful thing.
Former
Yeah,
at the
Jack.
time?
Uh, not at the time.
Bro, you knew Jack Black.
After this,
You knew Jack
probably.
Black.
Yes, it was Jack Nicholson. Uh,
Okay.
th-
As he's walking up, he's
I
like, yo, I always wanted to go on these tires. What the fuck?
You know, today I think I'll visit the tires.
yeah.
What the hell?
The funny thing is, he did actually like I could have gotten away with the shitting. However, a bit of a problem.
Your
It didn't
pants
come
flew
out
down.
clean.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was a wet one.
No, it wasn't a wet one, but like I wiped my ass on the outside of the tire.
Bro.
Bro, how you
And
how you
that's
got
when I
caught?
got caught.
Yeah.
That's when I got caught.
Dude. Oh my god.
Just scratching a hard to reach place, guys. Nothing to see here. You're like leaving a brown snail trail.
almost exactly like that.
This is not school anymore. This is just shit pants, bro.
This is some redditor's fetish. He's just explaining.
He's a redditor. This is his
I should put
fetish.
r/AITA. I'll get 50 upvotes.
50 exactly, no more, no less. I actually,
51.
actually, is that the conclusion to your story? Because I have my own.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I went to the playground, I had to shit, and I shat an entire. My
Just
friend
just to
Jackson
make
saw me,
sure you
and
don't
he's
have to
no
shit
longer
right
my
now,
friend.
right? I'm scared of what you'll do.
I do not have to shit right now. I think I might be constipated,
Lopez,
unironically.
you better hide your tires. You better hide your tires.
Yeah.
Is all I'm trying to say.
Hide your tires, hide your wife.
Don't
Now,
shit in my bike tires.
I remember a lot when I was little, and I was a little teenager, not teenager, what the fuck, I'm a little kindergarten kid. I got two little stories here. There's this man walking his dog, like I don't know why the school designed it like this, but there's like the playground on the corner of a grass strip, and then the road's right next to it. So he was walking down like the sidewalk with his dog, and the first thing I do is get like, I was across the road, but I started pointing at him and screaming "Stranger danger"
What the
at
fuck?
the top of my lungs, and it's only because 2 days previous, they pulled like like one of those really big TVs on like the thing with wheels. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was playing with those, and it's like, watch out for stranger kids. That's no good. Say notice. Say stranger danger, and yell if you see someone you don't feel
Say
comfortable.
no to the drug of the cock.
Honestly, but I started
Say no to
screaming.
the intoxicating, musky scent.
Oh man.
Man, it was so foul. You can see the green lines coming out.
Guys,
I'm
what are
telling you.
these notifications from my group chat, guys? Oh my god.
Well, but yeah, I start screaming at the top of my lungs and pointing at my teacher. Comes over and it's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And she's just like, "Stop, stop, stop."
Just imagining this, just her like crouched over doing the little bend thing with her hands on her knees and all, like
Yeah.
just like putting your arms out, just like
Come
slapping you
here, you little
maybe.
dumb fuck. Come here. You don't gotta yell at him.
You don't gotta yell it. Stop it now. Wait, that's that one. I just remember that one because I found that really funny looking back. And there's another
Now I
one.
gotta come up with a story quick
Oh,
enough.
oh, you want to do one? I'll let you do one.
Alright. Okay. Now that we're talking about like as we were really young, dumb shit we did during recess. Um One time on 9/11 during
Okay.
recess, me and my friend were like edgy and shit. So we
Oh, I
came
have a
up
story.
we
Keep going.
came
Keep
up
going.
with like a song in like a nursery rhyme kind of style that was just like not like overly offensive or anything, but just like dumb. It
You,
was like 9/11 9/11 once again. Like it was just basically saying it sounded like we were going to fucking do 9/11 and we were like we knew exactly how it was going to go down. And we were hoping somebody was going to like freak out about it, but it was just dumb and bad and uh and thankfully nothing bad came out of it.
you pissed
Bro,
off the entire class, but at least
yeah,
the swing tip
No,
on my
no,
right.
I don't know if anybody heard us. That was what was weird about it. Is like we were probably just dumb. We were probably just
it
like
was
looked at as dumb kids who should be ignored and not
if
be
it
mentioned.
wasn't I feel like you just pissed off like this one dude off in the chat who's like my grandmama had
Yeah.
died in the towers.
Hey,
You know
hey,
they
I
say
have you
everyone
know,
remembers what it was that day. Where were you, Lopez?
I have you know, my uncle was part of the CIA and he actually was causing 9/11.
Well, I'm not part of your big city folk up north. They're going in them places.
My
going
uncle,
to-
my
Where-
aunt works for the FDA.
I
Okay,
was
bro.
in math. Speaking of dumb stuff like that, I was in math class, and they were teaching things, and I'm like a dumb little child that like had no, because I was heavily bullied. I had no friends. I had no one. So I was like, what the fuck, man?
Dude, that's literally you
Laugh.
today, bro.
So
It's not because you're heavily bullied. You're just a loser.
yeah,
Get
yeah,
fucked.
pretty much. But yeah, I
Fuck.
stood up. Listen. I stood up in the middle of the class and I screamed the Holocaust,
Bro.
and I didn't know what that meant. I just heard the word, and my teacher stops teaching. Everyone around me stops doing what the hell they're doing. They look at me, and they all have this serious face on them, like the most serious you can imagine young children having. And they looked at me and they're like, "Bro, don't joke
Wait,
about
hold
that."
on. Hold on. Is it just like this face?
it was like okay, it's like a mix of that and annoyed. Annoyed,
Uh,
shaking.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
sure I can find this.
Like
Having
this, like this, like this.
really?
the
That's
people who
so
are
weird.
Yeah, he said it. They all look at me like that. My teacher, she's like,
Yeah.
she's like, don't
Did
joke
they like
about
know you were an edgelord or something?
No,
did they actually look like Dwight Schrute?
Yeah.
orange white in the class.
Identity theft is not a joke.
Yeah, they all look like Dwight exactly like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
they looked at me. Dwight was looking at me. And they was
You're
like, oh
stealing the
god.
identity of Adolf Hitler. Come on.
And I just started apologizing profusely because I didn't know what the word meant. I was like, oh shit, that's something really bad. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's
You thought it was just like some Japanese slur or something?
well, it was like it was some random word I heard someone say like on the playground. I was like, oh, I'll say that. I'll say that in the middle of class. Get a good laugh. No, it wasn't that. I remember it because of that. Can you imagine saying some word, everyone in the class stops and just stares at you and tells you it's not cool?
And you don't know what the word is? I feel like I've done that. I can't remember
You
though.
just hold on.
Oh,
Did you
wait,
just say
no.
fucking slurp? You absolute cunt!
What?
You just said slurp.
Slurm?
What?
Slurp.
What?
What are you
Do
talking
you not
about?
know what slurp means?
No, is this like a
You mean
Splatoon
like
term?
you mean like the
Oh my
Coke
god.
off Futurama slurm?
Oh my god. You don't know. You just said fucking slurp. You horrible person.
What the?
I'm pretty
hold
sure I
on,
said
hold on.
slur.
I, I'm sorry. I was making a joke there that wasn't.
No, it's over. It's over now.
Yeah,
No,
you
no.
ruined
You're
it.
out of the.
Yeah,
You're out of the. You're
the
out of the
entire
podcast.
Get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
But, well, okay, it's okay, everybody. We have no guests. It's just us.
So what I
Okay.
was gonna say
Yeah.
is that in elementary school, I had this recurring dream. I don't know how recurring, but I remember this dream of being like walking through just like a what do you call it? It's like not actually the same part of my school that exists, but it's like something that will feel like it in the dream, and I was just like with my friends talking, not thinking any teachers were talking, were like listening or anything, and in my second grader mind, I said pissed off to my friends in whatever context, and a teacher yelled at me for that being a bad word in the dream. So like it was like a nightmare where I was like, oh no, I just got caught saying a bad word, and the bad word was pissed off.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I knew like terrible words at that point, but that was what I thought would get me in trouble.
My elementary school had a system where they would like if a kid was doing something bad, the teacher would just like get them publicly bullied
What
as
the
hard as
fuck?
they could. Like, listen, this is what they do. I remember it specifically because it happened to me a few times. Except like I'm so used to being bullied and stuff, I just kind of didn't care. But there's this black kid with like dreads. I think they're really large compared to his skull, but he had those. And the teacher stops class. Is like, do you guys think this kid right here is good? Do you
What
think
the
he
fuck?
deserves what he has or something
What
like
the
that?
fuck?
Yeah, and like all the kids were like, no,
What the
no.
fuck? What?
Yeah,
You don't deserve life.
What the
he's like,
fuck, dude?
he's being a real bad kid. You all think so, right? And I was like,
What the
yeah,
fuck, dude?
because who's gonna defy the
What
teacher?
the
They're
fuck,
going with it.
dude? I would. I would.
Not as a child, a stupid child. Just
Maybe
like,
No,
not,
I
but
totally
I
did.
don't know, man.
You
Nowadays, I
yeah.
would definitely say like, "What the fuck is he doing? I don't understand. I'm
Well, like,
confused."
I don't remember the scenario. I don't know exactly what it is. I just remember a black kid with dreads just publicly getting bullied from
Dude,
the teacher.
what the fuck?
Black child.
I was gonna mention a story about this one kid who I like bullied because he was annoying and nobody liked him.
All right.
But I don't know if it's in the tone now. Does anybody have a story to cut between the two?
Yeah, beat what I just said. Go on. What did you beat?
Okay. When another thing from I don't remember if this was the same school before I transferred over to a different one. But in elementary school, uh, I think it was it was the same one as before. But after reaching a certain grade level, I don't know if it was like related to hitting a certain grade level or what, or if it's just that they were
They
doing something
started
with
calling
the
you the
playground.
tire shit kid. And then
No,
that was your Joker moment. That was when you snapped.
that was like when I was dancing in the hospital and the pistol just fell out. Or I
Yep.
think it was a revolver, but uh, no, there was they just let us out into this little. I don't know how you describe it. Just like grassy area, and just like tell us, okay, uh, do stuff, have fun, don't shit in the grass.
In the tires, yes.
Don't shit in the tires, fucking
Maybe
Timothy.
maybe that was what caused it. Maybe that was what caused it. Too many kids shitting at the tires.
Yeah.
Let him use the bathroom, and then what happens?
I mean, that was my first protest. That's what radicalized me.
Yep, that was what it
My
was.
ancestors were smiling on me, Imperial. Can you say the same?
The Sigma male grind set as a child. Shit in the tires.
Teachers tell you don't use the bathroom. You shit in the tires.
Sigma rule number 1: shit in the tires.
Yeah. Well, go on.
I remember that there was this one kid who just like always like I think everyone just sort of hated him, but he didn't even care. He was just happy. He just sat over in this one like kind of secluded area, like where there were a couple of trees, and he was always just rubbing a couple sticks together, trying to make a fire like they do in
What's
cartoons.
up with that? Every kid tried that, right? Everyone knows a kid who's tried that at least once,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Well, this guy was doing it like consistently. Like he'd just be there for days and days. He'd sometimes try with rocks and all. So I just like went over there. It was like, yeah, let's do a fire. Let's see that. That'd be cool.
You go over there with a
Like, I
lighter,
didn't
bro. I
think,
got you.
well, I
You-
didn't think anything about like what that's what a fire is. Okay, I just thought, man, that'd be neat,
that would be
and
neat.
well, it would be neat.
I have a story about that actually. Since
Uh,
we live in a. Oh, you're not done. Are you not done?
yeah, cause eventually, like I guess I just became this kid's friend, and you know those
Tires,
like
kid.
tough onion things.
You know those like tires they have
Like,
on the playground? We started shitting in them together.
Where we held
yeah.
hands. We held hands.
Well,
Tire shit.
we found this little like funny smelling bit of grass that wasn't like definitely wasn't grass. It was definitely some sort of
Okay.
plant. But we
Okay.
Bro.
basically just spent the better part of the year when we weren't trying to make fires, just trying to dig it out of the ground, and we got pretty far, and we even got like this one group of girls to help us out a couple of days, because we thought, yeah, let's dig out like an onion or something out of the ground, and the lunch ladies will cook it for us. It'll be great.
Oh,
Bro.
I have a story about that, but let's you go. Let you go.
That's basically it. We never got like we
You
never
never did anything with it?
managed to.
Speaking about onions in the ground, back when I used to live in back when I was like middle class, back when I used to have this old neighbor who had a backyard full of homegrown onions. So I walk over there and I'd see him gardening, and I like gardening because that was cool to me as a child. I was like, oh, that's cool. I walked there, I was like, hey, can I have some onions? And he give me some onions, and I bring him home to my mother. She's like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? Because we don't like onions. I hate onions. Everyone in my family hate onions. So I kept getting him. I kept walking over asking for more. And he kept giving it to me each time because he's like a nice old man. So eventually, I just stopped asking. I I climbed the small fence to get in his backyard and started plucking onions off. And
Bro.
I just found it fun to do. I plucked them all out over the fence.
Yeah.
I just left them
This is a
there.
story of how I got charged with a misdemeanor when I was a child.
No, I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get in any trouble. They didn't catch me, I think. Because
Bro.
Oh, I
I
think they
just never
just
told.
didn't care. Maybe.
Yeah, they were just like, yeah, that's just that dumb kid.
Yes,
That's the onion kid. He steals onions.
you must
He
really
just
like
sat
him.
back
I,
and listened
I
when everybody was bullying the kid.
he's probably poor. Let's just let him take the onions, Cheryl.
Yeah, he needs the
Alright.
onions more than
He
us,
needs the
clearly.
nutrition. He
Well,
needs
let
the
me tell
nutrition.
you the story of the one kid I bullied. So, you gotta understand the context of I had just moved to this school this year.
Oh, so you want a good
and
social standing.
and
You want a good.
I only ended up being there for half a year. Um, and it wasn't for good. Maybe it was. Maybe like subconsciously that was the goal. But really, I just was annoyed by this kid, and he was constantly trying to be annoying to me. So one day, after lunch at recess, I don't know why, but like in my mind, it was like, yeah, that's just the free zone. That's just where no rules apply. It's like the purge time when we can just beat the fuck out of anyone. So I literally got into like a fist fight with this kid until he just started running away. Because obviously we were both like fucking third graders. I wasn't gonna actually go anywhere, and he just started running away after I like fucking I don't know probably like landed one hit. And I never got in trouble. I think I might have got yelled at. But that was like when he was just running away and I was chasing him. Like, I don't think anybody ever saw anyone hit. So like yeah, so I got away with it. And I was honestly starting to think like, maybe these teachers are just racist and that's why I didn't get in trouble.
Um,
Classic. I've had a racist teacher. You want to hear that story?
Sure.
But let's let Timothy go though, because I heard him go. So he has something to say.
I didn't have anything to say there really. Not
My
anything of
bad, Mr.
importance.
Mug Maniac.
The
Well, I had a
amazing
teacher,
Mugman.
and I used to go to this white school. I think I've told you about this. The only while I used to go to this white school, and
White child.
white people, no black. I used to go to this white school, and there was only one other black kid there, which I really wanted to be friends with because he was the only other black kid there.
Bro.
White people.
I don't think
White
that's
no.
racism. I think it's just natural.
I
But
mean, yeah, sure.
I was in there, and I had a teacher, math teacher, who was teaching us fractions around that time. I forgot what grade it was, fourth maybe. But I was in there, and she was teaching a lesson. I didn't understand anything because I was a stupid little child. I didn't listen or anything. So I asked her. I was like, "Hey, can you teach this to me? Can you teach this thing again to me?" And she gave me like 7 pages of homework, front and back, and said,
Bro.
"Get it done by tonight."
What the fuck? What?
Asks for help. Gets kicked in teeth.
Yeah,
What?
I she this is not a joke. She gave me 7 pages of homework. It's around there. It was at least 6 or higher. I know that for a fact.
Like, was it like a punishment, or did she think that was what was teaching?
Well, she's after I raised my hand and she called on me. I asked the question. And she's like, and she's like, see me in the class. So I go there. She hands
What
it
the
to me. Do
fuck?
this by the end of the night. So I go to my mother, and I'm like teary eyed. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't know how. So my mother starts getting really really mad because I mean obviously, and she goes up there. I don't know what happens because I don't know. I wasn't there. She's just like, okay, stay at home, watch Sesame Street, what the fuck I was watching. And I go there the next day. The teacher comes in. She does that little finger thing, like you stick your pointer finger out and you curl it to say like, come here. So I come over to her. She puts me in the hallway. She shuts the door. She grabs my in between my breasts, like she grabs my shirt and she goes, "You have your friends and I have mine." And I had no idea what that was. I
God.
had no
Bro,
idea that was a
what?
threat.
What
I
the
had no
fuck?
idea. I had no idea what that. I had no idea what that meant. I had no idea what was happening. I was like,
Oh my
okay.
god.
I walked back in. I never mentioned it till like 2 years later to my mother, and she's like, "Wait, she was threatening you?" I was like, I don't know, maybe. I was
Yeah,
like, looking back,
she's
it
either
is a threat, but
threatening you or being very racist.
Yeah, either way, that teacher, do you will say much of anything about it?
Oh my god, dude.
But like, that teacher does not deserve to be teaching.
Yeah.
I will full on dox her because I don't care. Her name is Miss Pugh. That's what we call it. That her name is like Miss Pugh, and I don't know where she is. I heard she got fired. I don't know.
That reminds me of like a Kevin Hart's bit in one of his stand-ups where like basically he was at school and his teacher like fucking punished him and he went home and told his mom about it and his mom was like
Oh,
you
I know
tell
what you're
her,
talking
yeah, you tell her that I said, and then like just like a bunch of curse words, and so he went
about.
up and like just cursed out his teacher.
Yeah, I love that bit.
My mom said you're a stupid fucking bitch who needs to rot in hell for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Davy
Margaret
Jones, lock
Thatcher has nothing on your stinky ass.
up. Bro, I wish I had permissions like that. I would go so hard on a teacher that I hate.
Probably throwing some things of your own.
Yep, honestly, it's what he did. But I have more stories like that. maybe not as bad, but I had a horrible childhood when it comes to school. Any of you think you can top that?
I don't think I can top anything like that because I am white child.
White
Yeah.
child, no
I
problem.
never faced discrimination from my teachers. Sorry.
Well, all of my teachers have been white. Is the
Well,
thing.
my third grade teacher was the one who made me start taking ADHD medicine because I was like an asshole to her, and she thought it was just because I'm retarded.
Oh, he's stupid. That's what that is.
Kid doesn't
Yeah.
like me.
And then my
Yeah.
fourth grade teacher put me into the gifted program.
I got sent to the guidance counselor 3 times over for cutting my finger on accident.
Oh my god.
I told you about that,
You
right?
just triggered an entire chain of memories that I just forgot about. So I had this one guidance counselor who I I might be classified as what you might call a downy kid.
Okay, you'll go with that, yeah.
You don't take your happy pills?
It's
Well,
what
I
the
don't.
mask is.
That's not.
I
That's normal.
don't have
pills.
anything like that. But I just mean I had anger management problems in elementary.
I would
and
believe
middle
that.
school.
I would believe that.
Uh,
I would believe that.
I had to go see this guidance counselor, and she did not know how to do her job. Well, she knew how to get paid money.
She's in
Well,
elementary. She's a guidance counselor in elementary. What do you think she's gonna do? Give him a lollipop and say, "Be on your way"? What can
Well,
she do?
what she did was I just sometimes just be summoned to her office from my reading class or something, and I'd always be mildly upset about it because man, I'm I hate these students because I mean they're kind of annoying, but I don't want to be taken out of class for something. But I went down there and just something kind of funny. I'd usually just, talk about basically nothing because, again, what's she going to do? She's an elementary school guidance teacher.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what we would occasionally do, she'd just give me coloring pages to do and try to connect it back to anger management. And
Bro.
one time, she gave me one that was a gorilla. And she said, "You see this gorilla? The gorilla is angry. The gorilla smash. The gorilla." She was basically comparing me to an animal for the entire time. And just
Okay.
at the end of it,
Is this gorilla you?
yeah,
You
pretty
want
much
banana?
unironically. No, unironically. That's what I think she might have said something like that.
Oh my god.
Now, do you want to be a gorilla?
You know she read in the
Are you
guidance
fucking
counselor's handbook.
insane?
She read in the guidance counselor handbook how to relate to children. Animals. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that.
Pterodons. And she also told my mother that apparently that she's a terrible mother who let my siblings beat
Oh
me,
my god,
which
what
that
the
wasn't the
fuck?
case.
That's not how
There
guidance
was no
counselors are meant
grounds
to
on
be,
that to
bro.
work.
Guidance
Yeah,
counselors are meant to be professionally trained. How the fuck did that slip through the cracks?
she got fired.
Okay, good.
I have a story about my old principal. All my stories are sad because it was sad. I have a story of my old male principal. I think it was in a school. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the school. Am I allowed to say the school's name on YouTube?
What the, yeah?
I mean, I guess we can.
Especially with like fucking 3 subscribers.
Okay, well I used to go to a school called Hobgood Elementary, and there used to be a male kind of hefty not teacher principal. And I get called in there, occasionally because I'm a bad little kid. Everyone hates me. I have no friends. Why not? Why not be bad? So I was a bad kid, and they sent me to the principal's office. So I go in there, and he has a ping pong paddle, which he whips children with.
Did he spank your penis with
Bro.
it and did it give you a boner?
Maybe, and he recorded it and made me wear a dress. Maybe. I'm just skeptical here.
Did he gently pat the sides of it while telling you how naughty of a boy you've been, and then strike your half chub with immense
I think
force?
Timothy has a fantasy that he's explaining to us.
I think he's I think he's showing a little too much of the inside of his head.
I think you're self-reporting right now.
Okay, but back to the topic.
Did he put a leathery yet gentle arm.
Okay, back to the topic at hand. I walked in there. He was supposed to call parents before he whipped their ass, right? He calls the parents and like, "Hey, can I whoop your child's ass?" And they were responding like, "Yes, no, baby, I don't care." So he calls my mother. She doesn't answer.
He's like, guess I gotta whoop the fuck out of you now.
And I sit in the chair and I'm like, and I'm like, well, what now? Like,
Worst
what
question to
now?
ask a pedophile.
Oh, literally, I asked him these exact words. What's taking so long? And I watch as he gets mad visibly in his face, and he puts the phone down. And he just picks me up and whips me. Right, he whips me. That's that. He whips me, and
Beat
I,
child.
I'm just looking back. I'm wondering like, is whipping still legal at that time? And another question, I got this answered. You weren't supposed to whip children unless you got permission. And my mother never answered the call.
Yeah.
So I get whipped. I go back. Kids are like, "Ooh, how was it?" I'm like, ain't that bad. Whatever. I'm like trying to hold in tears.
I think that might have also been racism. Not gonna cap.
Probably.
He was white, yes.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I was being a little shit as well.
okay,
Yeah,
but I
like you
guarantee you
don't
he
just
wouldn't have
like
just whipped.
angrily sit down the phone with like a
Yeah.
glimmer, like a strike of anger over your face, and you
Yeah.
just solemnly slam it back down on the little like base thing. Lift up your paddle. Come here, little boy.
This
And then you just bludgeon the shit out of him.
this will
I
teach
feel like
him.
that's a bit more than he said. What's taking so long?
I have.
Did his dog get ran over or something?
I don't know. He got really upset about it
Apparently, his dog got ran over by a black person, and now he's racist forever.
for life.
I don't got run over by a nit.
Okay,
By a black man.
that's bigotry strike number one. We gotta introduce you to this mechanic of the podcast now. This bigotry
Yeah.
strike number one. If you get to three, you're out of the episode.
Oh.
But I was here's another story. There's a black woman. Okay, maybe this explains why I think something. There's this black woman. I've been bullied by two black women when I was a child, and this one would like kick my
Woman,
feet.
as in adult.
No, like black girls.
Okay.
Two little black girls.
Black lady,
Yes. You know how we had.
may I sniff your feet, madame?
You know how we don't go on lines anymore in like high school and stuff. Well, back in elementary you did, so I used to go on
We
lines.
do lines of cocaine.
Pretty much, honestly, to keep ourselves entertained through school. But they used to kick my feet, try to make me trip so people would laugh. But I
That
never,
was everyone.
I never tripped, so people still laughed, and they used to smack the back of my head, all sorts of things like that. Average bullying. They, they used to scrape my insides with a rusted nail to give me tetanus. But I would say all the time like, "You'll never make me cry, you'll never make me cry," because that's like their goal, right? They start laughing like, I'm like, "You never make me cry." So one day they just wouldn't stop, like, just physically hitting me nonstop. So I start crying,
They
and
made
they
you
all
cry,
just start like,
pussy.
literally, I'm not even kidding. Everyone in that classroom except for two kids. I don't know those two kids. I just know what they look like. Everyone in the classroom except those two kids were pointing and laughing at me.
Yeah, I
The
would have done the
teacher,
same, bro. That's funny as fuck. You're a loser.
the teacher,
You're a
the
fucking loser.
teacher, the teacher knew it was happening, didn't care. She was just doing work or something. I don't know. She's at her desk,
Mm.
and I'm like, I'm just sitting through it. I'm like, okay. Next day, about the same thing. It's like that always. That's how I grew up. That's my environment. And the second one got in a physical fist fight with me because she was kicking the back of my feet, which I'm used to because the first one was doing it. So she kicked back my feet. This time I was like, I'll be crafty about it. So I jumped up. So when she went to kick my feet, I jumped on her foot. So I looked back triumphantly with a smile, like, oh, and she punches me in my jaw
Oh.
Nice.
as hard as she can. And I've never been hit before. I'm a child. I'm like fucking like 7 or something. So I start crying because I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, and I'm sitting there outside. The gym teacher was just next to me because I'm sitting on a bench next to him, and he doesn't compliment me or anything. He's like, okay. He's like, okay, good luck or something. He's like, just wait there. So I go back inside and nothing happens at all. I think I this is what happened. I got in trouble for fighting with a girl. They were like, it was a bunch of female principals. They were looking at me and they were saying, um, you know you're gonna go to jail if you keep hitting women like that.
If you hit a normal person, you won't go to jail.
No, no, no. They were like, if you hit a woman, you know you're gonna go to jail for that, right? And I'm like 7. Once again. Let me put this in perspective. Bunch of people, including the woman who was the girl that was bullying me, in the room. They all look at me like, you're going to go to jail if you keep hitting women like this. So my mother comes in, she's having a fit, pissed off, because she knows. I know. So she tells me, like, oh, you want to go to Sonic? Like, they're like, oh, you want to go to Sonic? I'll give you some food. You want to go to Sonic? We'll go to Sonic. That's that. Like, I'm just, they all, can you imagine
You
that?
lost. You lost. If she's bringing you to Sonic, you lost. Sonic sucks dick.
I like Sonic.
No, Sonic's
Nah,
good.
Sonic's ass. At least in
Bro,
my
you
area,
gotta have
every
some.
single
Yeah,
Sonic
that's
is
what I was
ass.
saying. You
Yeah.
gotta have some like bad Sonic, because the Sonic we relive is like good.
I think it is literally based on like regions. Like food quality, fast food quality is literally based on regions.
Yeah, it's by truck drivers.
By that.
But yeah,
Um,
that's my story right there. By feminist principles.
I said I was going to I would laugh at you too, but now that I think about it, there's a thing that happened with this one kid in my gym class where like everybody was like laughing at him for something that was like insignificant, and I was doing it too. And then he started crying, and I was just sitting back like awkward because I was like, I didn't know it was that big a deal to him. I thought he just didn't know how to banter back. And then yeah, so he was like crying, and I was just like, I didn't actually continue. I think I like tried to fucking talk to him. I was like, yo, bro, like fucking, it doesn't matter. Like, don't worry about it. So I wouldn't have actually laughed too. Well, maybe if I was younger. Yeah, I probably would have. If it was like 4th grade, yeah, you were getting fucking
You
your shins kicked in by me.
you know that sad story you were talking? Yeah, I'd laugh. I'm thinking maybe I would. No, I'd laugh. I would. That's what you
I
tell
I,
me.
I will laugh pretty hard,
Yeah, I
and
would
then
laugh
I'd feel
in your
bad about
face.
it, and then I'd laugh.
In
I'd
your
feel
face.
bad for a split second, and then I'd realize that's how insignificant of a useless slime you are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I'm looking at this, you getting bullied. I'm cracking up on the inside, but as soon as I see your tears, I'm laughing.
No, because
I am laughing.
it's like I know you'll be over it now nowadays. Like in the future when you're 16
Oh yeah,
recording a
yeah, I'm over it
podcast.
now.
Yeah. So it's
I'm
like I'll
17.
laugh then. I'll laugh then for the clout points, you know, and then it won't matter. It'll just be clout for me, neutral for you.
I mean, if you laughed at me back when, I probably would hate your guts today.
I don't care, motherfucker. We met on Gmod, bro.
I'm talking about back. I'm saying if you're in my physical life.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in your physical life because I know you as that kid who got bullied in elementary school and took it.
Well, I mean, I middle school, I started making a lot of friends and it got popular, kind of.
Yeah, well, you got no bitches now, so what happened?
No, he had bitches, but then bitches would try to hop on his dick so hard his dick broke. I tell you
Yeah,
what, man.
okay, bro. Okay.
Bro, I just got so much money,
One
I
time,
got scared. They ran
one
off.
time he was playing Minecraft. He was playing Minecraft with his girlfriend, and she just jumped into a ravine like 50 times. She's stupid.
I don't get this reference.
No, I'm just actually like
Yeah,
Being dumb.
remembering that.
Okay.
you know, this is a very very serious podcast, as we all know. Let's lighten the mood. Am I right? Am I right about that? Someone tell a good story.
Let's talk about some politics. How do you guys feel about the current political climate in Cuba?
I think Donald Trump trumps the rest.
Fidel Castro, too.
Castro is not in Cuba right now.
I said Fidel Castro, too.
Oh,
actually
that's your take.
How is this
Let's
school
make
related?
him, but again.
Wait, can we talk about lunchtime stories? I know you guys have some.
Not really. I always
Not
usually
really.
just by myself.
Oh,
and
okay. I got a really bad story that's really
All right.
embarrassing.
All right, let's hear it.
In 5th grade, this is like the deepest I ever got into like normie, like school, popular kid culture. In 5th grade, I was like friends with all like the popular kids in my class, and I had them. I was like talking to them on Instagram and stuff. Instagram was like the thing, and we all had each other added. I'd be in like all the group chats and stuff, and there was this one girl. who like I mean at that time I would literally just arbitrarily pick girls who I wanted to have a crush on, and she was the unlucky one, and and fucking eventually after like I talked to this girl on like Instagram for like months, I knew I was a loser. She probably knew I was a loser, and then eventually like through text, I got her to say yes, I'll be your girlfriend, and
Then you
and and
screenshotted it and nutted
apparently
about it for 5 weeks.
no, apparently no. Okay, I'll start this. I'll say it from my perspective. The next day at school, I forgot about it, and I didn't do anything about it. I didn't acknowledge her at all or anything, and then the next day, I can't remember how I figured out. I think I started like bragging about it, and
Um,
like publicly at the lunch table, and
Guys, guess what I forced this girl to say?
and this girl was like no, that's not true, I literally said JK afterwards, and I was like, no, that's not, you're lying, you're capping, you're, I mean, I didn't
you
say
go back
capping
and you check it.
obviously, but I was like, that's not that's not true. And like I was friends with her friend, and I was talking to her about it like after school through Instagram text or something, and and basically I literally was like, I'm literally crying about this right now, this is so sad, this is terrible,
Oh, that's so good.
and she was like, it's not worth crying about. That's basically it. um and then like that's still like fucking just, it was fucked up, bro. I got publicly embarrassed at the lunch table.
Lunch table publicly embarrassed is the worst kind of publicly embarrassed.
Yeah, and I still want to know what the actual, what her actual perspective was behind that, because I'm sure it was just I was being weird, so she was like, "Fuck
Yeah,
no, I made
she
a
was messing
mistake."
with you.
Yeah.
You know those this is branching off what you said. You know those paper mache things that people used to make all the time? It was like,
Yes.
guess a color, guess a number, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you
Fortune
are the
tellers.
It's
yeah
paper mache, but yeah,
fortune teller type things.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't paper mache. It was just a origami
yeah,
thing.
origami.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Yeah, that was the word. But they were making that, and the school banned them
What the fuck?
in middle
Oh, because
school.
they would like say the N word in them.
No. They were like nice and stuff. They're always a lovely kind. It's like, hey, Marco, tell you and Elizabeth get together. Let's do it.
Well, yeah,
Let's.
that's why they banned them. Yeah, I feel like I would ban that too if I was the school administration.
So here's the story of why they banned it, because it was like harmless kid fun, but they banned it because apparently a girl was a subject to one of those, and so was this guy. So the girl's father gets told about this, and he gets really mad, and he goes up to the school and is like, "Who is this man sexually harassing my daughter? Who is this?"
I tell you what, I am not gonna stand for that. With my daughter is pretty, and I fuck her every evening.
Self-proclaimed,
I'm telling you,
They are trying to get my daughter
I will
pregnant
not stand for this.
with paper
self-proclaimed
origami.
libertarian father urges for the school board to implement authoritarian policy to protect his daughter.
Yep.
Guns do not kill people. Dads with pretty daughters do.
So it got banned.
Yeah.
I heard that. I was like, wow, that ain't that wacky. Like, what's the craziest thing that got banned in your schools for reasons you know?
Dude, they didn't let the kids say the N-word. It's crazy.
Really?
They banned pens at my middle school because one kid cracked a pen in the hallway, and they were saying like, "Yeah, we don't know who it is. We don't know who it is. So you guys, until one of you fesses up, pens are banned." Despite the fact that it was Joseph fucking Stone, they had him on camera.
It was
literally
Joseph Robinette Biden. I can't believe it.
like
54.
everyone knew,
It
and
was
they
Joe
knew that they
Star.
knew.
How dare you? He did it.
I think it might have actually been Dio, but who knows?
Why might have been
well,
a wacky adventure.
It might have been a funny trip.
I don't remember anything that's been banned at my schools.
But
'Cause
like for
I've
the
only gone to
entire,
white schools.
like from
White and
7th to 8th
privileged.
grade, they were banned.
This is derailing the theme a little bit, but can we all admit black churches are better than white churches?
I don't know because I don't go to church, but I think from what I've seen, yes, like
The only church I
black
go to
Christians
I
are like
hate.
way more evangelical and like emotional and not less like propagandized.
I went. This is my experience, like the trad black church versus the weak beta white church. I went
I
to
think
a
I'd agree.
I went to a black church, and it was a preacher with a rag he was holding because he was sweating. Like they were clapping like da da da, praise Lord, da da. Some random black song. It was really catchy. I really liked it.
Black song.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was like wiping his brow with all the sweat. But then I go to a white church, and it's just you sit there when some guy's like, "All gays go to hell.
Yeah.
You eat
Well,
too much,
well,
you
the thing
go to
is,
hell."
a lot of homophobia. Well, I mean, like the idea is that like most homophobia in the black community comes from like Christian, like black people.
Well, no, none of them were like that. They were just singing songs about how good Lord is. And then I go to a white church, and it's like, "All gays go to hell. You eat too
Yeah.
much, you go to hell.
Yeah, but
You
it's like even if the church itself is less propagandized, Christianity as a whole is just terrible.
it is kind of like a
I
cult
feel
in
like most organized religion, like when it gets large, just becomes awful
Nah,
because for
man,
that
Well, it
thing
was
nobody
has
can
to
talk
be.
shit on the faith of Islam, man.
Um,
You get look. Tell me what this sounds like to you.
Hamud, 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 Hamud,
Habadabadi? Yeah, that's what I was quoting. But like
Hamud, baby, Hamud.
tell me if this sounds like a cult. Yes or no? You're forced to go to it once a week, no questions, or else you get fucking murdered for eternity and burned alive.
Okay, what is
That's
what religion does that?
yeah. That's not what. That's not.
No, literally, the way I was
You.
described it, the way I described it is either you go to church every Sunday and they're like, it ain't a big deal. It's one day per
Or you
week.
go to hell? Yeah, I
Or
guess that's
you
literally what
go
they
to
say.
hell and you burn for eternity.
Yeah,
You
okay.
That is stupid.
that
Maybe
is a
to a
cult.
child that sounds like what you described, but no.
That is a cult.
Okay, but that's not what they do.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
mine did.
not how that actually.
That's
That's what
not
mine
what
did.
the no, that's not what they're trying to
You
fucking
can't use
instill
your
in your
own
mind, though.
personal experience
Well,
as
my
To
like the
describe all of
entirety of
Christianity.
all
Yeah.
Christianity from
well,
all of history.
okay, well that's my Christianity experience.
So
So
it's
Okay.
definitely probably like
Sure,
there's
man. Your fucking sect of Christianity was a cult. Look, sure, bro. I'll accept that, but it doesn't mean anything.
like the church I go to is shitty as fuck. Like particularly we were going to a youth service here recently. Uh and they're just talking about sometimes I think it might be an idea to before we go into a lesson we might want to preface it with something from the Old Testament because uh we don't really go into that much anymore and I feel like it's
Oh
important
my
to not
god.
focus on the New Testament and all.
Oh my
And
god.
eventually the topic of Samson got brought up and how he dropped the entire temple on all those people.
Oh my
And
god.
then like
I don't know this story. I'm not Christian.
this one kid, Samson was this dude. He was really strong because he had a pact with God saying, "Hey, don't get a haircut, G, and you'll be fit as fuck."
Okay.
And he didn't get a haircut until he was kidnapped by this one army, and yeah, they cut his hair because they somehow figured out something about
I
his
wonder why they
secret.
changed the Old Testament.
I don't remember much about it specifically,
This
but
sounds
just
like a cult.
remember that he dropped a temple on a whole group of people while he was still inside of it, and it was some big sacrifice thing. Uh,
This is why I'm
and
saying that
This sounds like a Batman villain.
the Islamic faith is better than any other religion because
uh,
it's just Muhammad was talked to by the gods, no voodoo bullshit, no book they found in the
Nah,
ocean.
nah, Buddha.
yeah,
Buddha's best.
one kid that they like, one of the kids that was there was just like, "Hey, doesn't the Bible teach that like killing people is bad? Why is Samson celebrated as a hero?"
Yeah.
And the youth pastor guy, I shit you not, said, it was because they were very bad people. You have to understand.
Bro!
God had given them multiple chances. Like
So
literally,
Samson was
the
all right to
entirety.
commit murder because Samson's the judge, jury, and executioner according to God's
Samson,
will.
Yeah, plus
God,
God gave
God is
them their
God is
chances. Not like our entire belief system is about giving people chances.
Yeah.
if God is supposed to like everyone equally, how come He gave only certain individuals power?
Well, God isn't meant to like literally. Christianity says that God just interferes whenever He feels like it. That's why deism makes a whole lot more sense, where they just say that God doesn't interfere at all; He just created it.
You know, I asked the pastor, like, okay, tell me this, if Adam or Eve were the only humans on Earth, because I'm like still a child, if like, how come there's Chinese people and
How come we
Islamic
all
people,
don't have Hasberg jaws?
and they just handed me a book on a dinosaur evolution. I'm not kidding. That was
Okay,
their answer.
nice.
They refused to answer me. No, no,
They're just like, you're not a true Christian. Go read this
yeah,
book on evolution. Fuck you. Get out
I
of here and
I
go read about fucking Darwinism, you
I
bitch.
brought really bad kids to church one day that started arguing with the pastor, like screaming fits, arguing with the pastor. I know what you're saying, like that's really bad, but like the thing is, the pastor's arguing with the children, screaming as well, and he's just as bad as them.
Yeah, that's how most pastors are.
Yeah, because all
Cause
they care about is just touching children. They don't actually care about teaching the faith because the faith is bullshit.
they're trying to touch them more than God is. To be honest about it. But back, let's get right back to topic. We got like 7 minutes left, I think, right?
um,
It's horny time.
we got 8 minutes left. It's 9 minutes left.
Okay.
If you want to go right to an hour, but we've never done that before.
Yeah, let's go right into an ad. Is that what you said?
No, an hour.
An hour.
Oh yeah, I mean we can go to an hour. Why not? I like going for an hour. It's a nice point.
Yeah, your
All
mother
right,
goes for an hour
we got like we got time
generally.
for one last thing. Is it time
Sometimes
for
she
one of
comes too
Chris's?
fast.
Shut the fuck up. Is it time for one of Chris's infamed scenarios? I'm gonna
Okay.
start this. I did it last podcast. I'll
Oh
do it this
no.
time. All right. So let's say you are a person in church. You're in a, let's say, white church. You're sitting down. You're listening, and they start explaining. They're completely normal. They're going through whatever they talk about, and they just
Usually
mention.
they just. I'm just gonna give you a little bit more so you can go a bit more in depth with this.
Okay.
Uh, Pick one of the three sermons that they usually give at white churches. There's God is unchanging, and I love that's great, and I love that. Sin is bad, and you shouldn't do it, and people who do sin suck ass,
I'll go with that. I'll go
and
with that. I'll go
love
with
your
that.
neighbor,
I'll go with that.
except for the ones who are black, gay, and 50 million other stipulations because we don't like them.
I'll go with that one. So they're going off with that, and he casually mentions the Earth is flat. Now you hear this. What do? Would you?
Start laughing.
Because you start laughing.
Because
It's
I
really
won't be
quiet at church.
surprised given my current. Oh yeah, it usually is. But like, I'd start laughing
I mean,
because
Okay, hold on. Let me finish this scenario. You start laughing. He's like, what's so funny? Get up, boy." He says he points at you, says, "Get up." He asks you, "What's so funny?"
I,
um, I'd like to imagine that I would just keep laughing, but honestly, I probably couldn't. I'd like to imagine that I would just bully the dude, but I probably couldn't keep myself from like actually just trying to treat him like a normal person and like debating it with him. But like, there's literally no debating that to this
yeah,
person like that. But
Yeah,
the goal
I
of
just
debates anyways isn't to convince the other person, 'cause that's rarely ever gonna happen. It's to convince the audience. So honestly, yeah, I'd probably debate him on it just to make sure that he doesn't convince the other people of like his garbage.
okay. Well, this is Timothy's scenario. We'll get to you in a second. Timothy, what do? He points. He says, "Get up." He says, "What's so funny? Tell me."
I mean I'd probably just like say you're a fucking flat earther.
You say you're like in those exact words.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, let's just say realistically, you wouldn't probably curse in a fucking church. So you say
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
you're a flat earther, and he says, "No, I'm not." It says right here in the New Testament that the Earth is flat.
It doesn't say that anywhere,
And
but let's say it does.
yeah,
In that particular light.
I know it doesn't. I know it doesn't. Clearly, it's he said like right here the Earth is flat. And he says come here, come here. He like says come up to the stage, come up to the stage. come here, come here. So you're gonna start walking up there, right?
Yeah.
So you start walking up. You get up there. He shows you in the book, and it says, "Watch your back. Shut up."
No, it just has like my address and like
It has
the
your address.
hours that my parents are gone and all.
Yeah, it has everything like that. It has pictures of you, ready to be doxxed to the world too. And he's just like he looks at you and he's like, "Shut up."
He has a recording of you masturbating to child porn.
Honestly, yeah. And he says, "I have recordings like this of everyone. Shut the hell up right now." He says, "Go sit down." What do you do now? Oh, his mind went blank. He is no. He doesn't know.
I'm just trying to think. I'd probably be very upset about that.
If you're trying to think, you probably are by response of walking back to where you sat, because
I
you can't
mean,
just stand there.
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I
probably
could.
you would walk back, wouldn't you?
I So do I have a different scenario, or do I just say what I would do?
Yeah, yeah. He tells you to stand up. What do you do?
Um, I say, um, the Earth isn't flat.
Okay. He does the same thing he does to Timothy. You go up there, right? You wouldn't contest that. There's no reason to contest that. You're not gonna win anything from doing that. So you'd go up there. He says the same thing. Shows you the same thing. What do you do?
I'd be willing to expose myself to the entire audience just to show what he's doing, just to get him fucked for what he's doing.
I mean, like, I don't. Only reason why I won't do anything like this, I don't think anyone. Well, people are that stupid, but I don't think anyone, like my troop specifically, I guess, is that stupid.
Well, like the thing is, if he's going down, you can tell he's the type to take you with him. He's telling you he will kill you.
Oh,
Okay.
that's the sort of thing you meant
Oh,
then.
so he's gonna like murder everyone in the room.
Well, he's like, no, not everyone, just you. He's like, shut
Yeah.
up. I know where you live. Shut up.
Okay, well then I'll fucking steal the book and run straight to the police station.
Steal the book. How are you gonna do that in his hands?
Pick up the. Oh,
Yeah, you snatch it.
I thought you had it like on the.
No, it's not that. He's showing it to you. What do you mean?
No, I thought that you meant he had it on like the.
Pedestal?
I forget what they're called, but yeah, like the.
The
Haha, funny
lectern.
Minecraft lectern.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
like,
the,
like
uh,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
the
No,
thing that people who don't know how to use their hands when they're speaking use.
no, he's
Yeah,
like,
a pedestal, a lectern. Yeah.
It's like pushing it in your face. He's like, look, right here, right here, right here. He's like,
Right here.
Yeah, right
Read
here.
it. Read book.
Read a book. Hurry quick. He's showing it to
Hurry
you.
quick. 1 minute.
Deaf to Israel, but he's just showing
Free
it to you.
Palestine.
So
Free Palestine.
What do? You can't steal it from him. Because if you take the book, people in the audience are going to stop you.
Kick him in the nuts. Take the book. Run.
Okay, I mean, this isn't your scenario, Mr. Scenario Butt Inner. He's butted into a scenario.
Oh, I thought you meant like.
No. Don't be sorry now. You've already ruined it.
I think the solution is you just start making out right there and prove that gay marriage should be legal.
You start making out. I'm
Yeah.
underage, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm underage.
Grab him.
Then he has to admit that he's in support of gay marriage, and then nobody will go to the church again.
Ooh,
I think that's the end. End of the
Power
podcast.
move.
That's a pretty good end right there. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah.